I've always loved thrill rides. The rush of adrenaline, the way my stomach flips on roller coasters. It's exhilarating. My boyfriend Liam shares the same passion, which is one of the reasons we work so well together. For our second anniversary, he planned something special. He led me through the amusement park, his hands over my eyes.
No peeking,
He whispered, his breath warm against my ear. I giggled, feeling the electric excitement of the moment. Come on, at least give me a hint,
Patience.
he teased.
It'll be worth it.
After a few minutes, he stopped.
All right.
He said.
Wait here. I just need to set something up.
I laughed. Fine, but don't leave me waiting too long. Then, silence. The sounds of the amusement park buzzed around me. Distant laughter, the clanking of machinery, the occasional whoosh of a roller coaster. But as minutes passed, my excitement began to wane. He was taking too long. I shifted on my feet. Liam? Nothing. A strange silence crept in, swallowing the noise of the park. Then, a soft dragging sound, like something limping toward me. I smiled uneasily. Liam, quit messing around. The sound grew closer, slow, uneven. Then it stopped. A cold, suffocating stillness settled over me. The fine hairs on my arms rose. I wasn't alone. I hesitated before opening my eyes, expecting to see the bright lights of the amusement park. But everything was dark. The once vibrant park was now eerily abandoned. The carousel stood lifeless, its horses frozen mid-gallop. Rides that should have been full of screams and laughter were motionless. And in front of me stood a man. No, something that used to be a man. His body was thin and twisted, one leg dragging behind him as if it were broken. His head tilted at an unnatural angle, face stretched into a distorted grin. His eyes, sunken and empty, locked onto mine. My breath caught. I took a step back. He took one forward. A sickening squelch accompanied his movement, as if his bones weren't connected properly. Then he lunged. I turned and ran. The air felt thick, suffocating. My feet pounded against the pavement as I darted past the abandoned booths and empty rides. I didn't dare look back. Then, blackness. A hand covered my eyes, yanking me to a halt. I screamed, struggling, but then...
Shh! Hey! It's okay! It's just me!
Liam, I gasped as the blindfold was gently removed. The lights of the amusement park burst into view, dazzling and vibrant. Music played, people laughed, and the air smelled of popcorn and cotton candy. I turned, seeing Liam's familiar warm smile.
You okay? I think you got a little overwhelmed. But don't worry, I have the perfect way to make it up to you.
I forced a weak laugh. Maybe I had imagined everything. Maybe it was part of some haunted attraction, and my mind had tricked me. Liam pointed at the roller coaster, our favorite ride.
Come on, just one ride.
Despite my lingering unease, I nodded. The roller coaster car locked us in. As it ascended, I started to relax. Liam squeezed my hand, and for a moment everything felt normal again. Then, as we plunged into the first drop, I saw it. Among the trees lining the tracks, a head, human, severed, was nailed to a trunk. Its eyes were wide open, staring right at me. Its mouth hung slack, lips twisted in a silent scream. My stomach turned to ice. Liam, did you see that? The head!
What head?
He frowned, laughing.
You're seeing things again.
The ride sped up, the wind howling around us. But when we should have returned to the station, the coaster didn't slow down. It kept going, loop after loop, turn after turn. My body pressed into the seat, my skin stretching back unnaturally from the force. The wind felt sharper, harsher. Then, I felt something shift. My cheeks started to pull away from my skull. The wind wasn't just strong, it was peeling me apart. Liam sat beside me, completely unchanged, smiling. I tried to reach for him, to make him stop the ride, but my arms had elongated into ribbons of flesh, stretching further with every loop. The ride never stopped. I turned to Liam, eyes wide with terror. "Liam, please, make it stop!" He tilted his head slightly as if confused. Then finally he spoke.
I thought you loved thrill rides. It will stop.
The ride surged forward once more, and as the wind ripped away the last remnants of my human form, I realized I was never getting off. And my boyfriend, was he truly oblivious? Or had he planned this all along?
Lucid dreaming had always fascinated me. The idea of controlling my dreams, bending reality to my will, was exhilarating. I spent hours reading guides, watching videos, and joining forums to learn the craft. One recurring warning, however, intrigued me the most. Never look into a mirror while lucid dreaming. It was a rule repeated in countless posts. People claimed mirrors in dreams were portals to places your mind couldn't comprehend. But rules were meant to be broken, weren't they? That night, as I drifted off to sleep, I whispered to myself, "This is a dream. I am in control." When I opened my eyes, I stood in a crumbling mansion. The air was heavy, tinged with damp rot. The walls groaned as if alive. Every instinct screamed at me to leave, but I had a mission. I wandered through the dim corridors until I found it. An ornate mirror framed in black and silver, taller than me, standing against the far wall. My reflection was hazy, shifting like water. I hesitated, but curiosity pushed me forward. As I peered closer, the surface of the mirror rippled. My reflection vanished, replaced by something else. A scene unfolded before me, fiery chaos. Rivers of molten lava flowed through a barren landscape. Faceless figures writhed in agony, their silent screams haunting. The heat felt real, blistering my skin. Suddenly, the mirror pulled at me, its surface like a vortex. My feet slid forward. Panic surged, and I yanked myself back, knocking the mirror over. It shattered into countless shards, each reflecting fragments of the hellish scene. When I turned around, she was there. Her skin was pallid, almost translucent, veins spidering beneath. Her eyes were empty voids pulling at my very soul.
"Leave!"
She hissed, her voice echoing in the empty house.
"Leave now, or regret it forever!"
Before I could react, the dream collapsed into darkness. I woke up gasping, my heart pounding. The room was familiar, comforting, but the dream's intensity lingered. "It was just a dream," I muttered, trying to convince myself. My phone buzzed. A last-minute work trip. I had to leave immediately. The journey was uneventful until the taxi pulled up at my lodging for the night. A small, secluded inn. My stomach twisted as I stepped out. The inn was the house from my dream. Every detail matched. The cracked paint, the warped wooden door, even the oppressive air. An older woman greeted me with a kind smile.
"Welcome, dear. Let me take your bags. You must be tired."
Her face was eerily familiar. The same hollow eyes, the same pale complexion. "Thank you," I mumbled, my voice shaking. Inside, the house was even worse. Shadows seemed to stretch unnaturally, and the silence was deafening. The woman led me to the living room and gestured toward the sofa.
"Rest well,"
she said, her smile lingering a moment too long. That's when I saw it. The mirror. It stood in the corner, identical to the one from my dream. My knees went weak. I turned to her, my voice trembling. "Where did you get that mirror?" She tilted her head, her smile never wavering.
"Oh, it's always been here."
She left, and I stared at the mirror, paralyzed. It was just a coincidence, I told myself, though deep down, I knew better. Minutes later, she returned with a tray.
"Tea?"
She offered. I took the cup, my hands shaking. She watched me, waiting. Something about her gaze felt wrong, predatory. Her smile stretched a little too wide, her eyes lingering on me too long. My fingers trembled as I held the cup, every instinct screaming at me not to drink. With a sharp motion, I flung the tea at her. The cup shattered and she recoiled, her face twisting with something unhumanly sinister. Without waiting to see what would happen next, I bolted. Outside, I flagged down a passing taxi, my hands shaking as I climbed in. As the car sped away, relief began to replace my fear. I had escaped, or so I thought. The road was empty, shrouded in a thick fog that seemed to swallow everything beyond a few meters. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the middle of the road. The driver swerved to avoid her, but the car skidded and crashed into a tree. My head slammed against the window, and the world blurred. When I came to, the driver was gone. I was alone in the wreck, surrounded by suffocating silence. Then she appeared, the pale woman, standing just beyond the shattered windshield.
Death is inevitable.
She whispered, her voice echoing in the stillness. I scrambled out of the car, running blindly through the fog until I stumbled upon a small, unlit house. The door was unlocked, and I threw myself inside, slamming it shut behind me. The house was eerily quiet, each room draped in shadows. As I opened a door at the end of the hallway, I froze. There I was, lying on a bed, my chest rising and falling as though in sleep. Is this still a dream? Or am I... Before I could finish, the pale woman materialized behind me.
You've already crossed the line. There's no going back.
I turned to her, my mind racing. If this was a dream, I could wake myself up. I lunged toward my sleeping form, desperate to return to my body. But she was faster. Her icy grip closed around my wrist, dragging me backward.
No one escapes their fate,
She hissed. I struggled, kicking and screaming, but her strength was inhuman. Her stomach stretched impossibly wide, revealing an abyss of darkness. With one final pull, she swallowed me whole.
What was that disgusting creature just now? Don't tell me my camera's malfunctioning. Was that... flesh? Ugh, that's disgusting. Sky, are you crazy? How much pressure must she have been under to hurt herself so recklessly like that? Whatever. Cases like this are for the cops to handle. I'm just a journalist, so I'll grab a few shots for reference while I can.
We need to collect your statement and the evidence at the scene. Please cooperate.
Wait a sec, officer. This is my work gear. Good thing I was smart enough to back up all the photos to the cloud. I came to Sky's concert today to cover a story, but I didn't expect to end up witnessing a live suicide scene. Wait, why is the audience reacting so weirdly?
Shin, you're really lucky, you know that? Your report today is definitely going to hit the hot search.
Yeah, I'm organising the materials for the post, but this photo looks kinda strange. The photo I was just looking at was different, wasn't it? Am I hallucinating or something?
I don't see anything weird. You're probably just stressed out from seeing all that gruesome stuff. Once you've posted the article, take the rest of the day off.
Got it, thanks boss. From the concert venue to the police station for a statement, then back to the office to publish the article. It's been almost 24 hours without sleep. What the... Why are you here looking for me? You want me to pull that mic out for you or something? Hey! Was that just a dream? Guess I'm just too exhausted today. I slept straight through until 10 a.m. Rushing to the fridge to grab something to eat, I found the stuff inside all messed up, like something had been rifling through it. But I didn't have time to dwell on it. But along the way, I kept feeling strange stares boring into me. When I turned to look at them, they just stared back with these eerie, twisted smiles, trying to scare me. Please, I'm scarier than any ghost. Just then, the crossing signal sounded and I quickly stepped onto the street. Suddenly, a piercing siren blared, and I saw a car speeding towards me, ready to crush me. I jumped aside just in time, barely saving my life. Once I made it across, I realized I had just run a red light. But I swear I heard the signal go off. And that's when that creature appeared again. The strange hallucinations nearly killed me. I decided to take leave from work and see a doctor immediately.
The results of your MRI and psychological test show some abnormalities. Look here, this is your amygdala, the part that regulates fear. But yours has calcified. It's possible you have a condition called Urbach-Wiener syndrome, which makes you unable to feel fear. It's caused by a lack of dopamine in your brain, but all your other emotions seem normal.
Not feeling fear, but what does fear even feel like?
Shin, I just got word that everyone who attended Sky's concert is showing signs of depression. Over 10 suicides have already happened. You'd better stay in the hospital for now.
Yes, thanks, boss. I'll be careful. My journalist instincts, recent experiences, and the disturbances at home confirm it. That monster is nearby. All I need to do is set up some surveillance cameras and quietly wait for the results. Another peaceful night passed without any strange dreams. I checked the fridge, and once again something had been there and eaten all the raw food. My job now was to review the camera footage and wait for my enemy to reveal itself. Everything seemed normal until 1:40 a.m. I saw a small creature crawl out of my ear. This creature was parasitizing my brain, so it's the one causing my hallucinations? Suddenly, a crimson hand appeared from behind, pulling my mouth into a grotesque smile. It was that monster. It was trying to fight back, but my heartbeat slowed and my mind was sharper than ever. The monster was so desperate to resist that it couldn't even create a complete illusion. I easily broke through it. It's time to deal with that monster. I'm thrilled. You monster! If you're smart, crawl out now, or we'll both die together. Suddenly, a sharp pain struck my head. Looks like the monster is afraid now. I can feel it crawling out of my head. The monster in front of me grew quickly, fueled by a terrible rage.
You foolish human. Do you really think you can escape?
Why not? With the home camera still recording, I'm about to go full badass and take this monster down. Tomorrow's news will be lit. A needle pierced the monster's heart, but my brain throbbed in pain as if something had stabbed through it as well.
We are one now. If I die, you won't survive either.
Currently, his biological responses and brain activity are still like that of a normal person. The creature's smile can't consume the dopamine in his amygdala and can't kill Shin to find a new host. Now it has consumed and replaced his brainstem.